Good night, teacher. Today we are going to present the case study, The Rise of Mercado Libre, and the members are Diego Alvarado, Carlos Guaraca, Kerly Pichigua, and Vanessa del Águila. Okay. Marcos Galperin created Mercado Libre in 1999 in Buenos Aires, Argentina. His objective was to create an e-commerce platform that suited to the reality of Latin America, where users get together to socialize, browse items, and buy and sell in an efficient way. But he faced obstacles such as the low internet penetration, lack of infrastructure, among others. Next slide, please. Mercado Libre has its own IT developers that created a uniform system that could handle the different markets and scale across borders. Then in 2003, they launched Mercado Pago, that was an integrated online payment solution to facilitate transactions. They also created Mercado Envíos, which is a logistic and fulfillment, offered cost-effective and timely delivery. However, in the beginning, weeks later to Mercado Libre opened, Derramate.com opened by the leadership of Alec Oxenford, but because of the short-term strategy of getting rich and the stock market crash, they failed. Nowadays, Mercado Libre acquired the remains of Derramate. Next slide, please. Latin American market was unbanked and underbanked. In 2019, only cash or voucher payments. The fintech solutions were giving MPOS to merchants, Mercado Pago Wallet and Mercado Crédito. They currently are a multi-business e-commerce corporation that includes distinct business such as marketplace, Mercado Envíos, Créditos, shops, among others. However, Amazon was growing, leaving a giant expand, offering third-party marketplace, cash payment services, and mobile wallet. But Galperin has penetration in Latin America, and it's a part of a day-to-day life for many people. At the same time, is losing profit in the short term, focused in expansion and market share. Next slide, please. Okay, the main participants. Mercado Libre, as I said, was the first website in Latin America dedicated to purchases, sales, and payment on the internet, and it's considered the Latin America's largest online e-commerce platform. As I mentioned before, they had a service called Mercado Pago and platform for charging buyers and paying and credit sellers. Next slide, please. Derramate.com operates in 1999 as an online consumer-to-consumer trading platform for Latin America. Derramate provided a platform for consumers to buy and sell products and services through interactive auction system and fixed price platform. They also operate Depagos.com, a payment platform that enables receiving or sending of online payment. As I mentioned before, they were not successful, and in 2008, Derramate.com operates as a subsidiary of Mercado Libre. Next slide, please. And the last one is Amazon. Was founded in 1994 by Jeff Bezos in the USA, and it's a company providing e-commerce and cloud computing services at all levels, and it's one of the first big companies to sell goods through the internet, and has a market capitalization value at over 1,600 billion in the early September 2020.
Okay, for the risk in Peru for fintech, we only identify one risk, that is the credit risk, and it's because the growth in the percentage of defaulters over the years. The last data we obtained from INEI was that in 2018, there was a 3% of defaulters rate. In the long term, this could cause a lot of losses to the fintech platform of Mercado Libre, called Mercado Crédito. And for the credit application, we asked for a long-term loan of 4.5 million soles. The loan was from BBVA and at the credit rate of 9% for 120 months. The project will be a logistic integrated system that could compete with Amazon's penetration. It will be both warehouses, trucks, delivery trucks. It will be delivery workers, and as well as an e-commerce software to make an improvement in the deliveries and also the customer satisfaction. This platform will be called Mercado Libre Deliveries Plus. The goal is to increase the number of transactions and the net income due to the increase in the e-commerce because of the pandemic and because of the lack of a solid delivery virtual platform. Other relevant information to provide to the bank will be presenting the financial statements. In the income statement, we should focus only in the net income because in the last periods of 2019, the net income was negative, and this is a trend that is growing through the years. But in the second quarter of 2020, we see that the net income is now positive, and this is getting bigger. We could see this from the third quarter of 2019. So this could be a good indicator that we are credit reliable.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about some financing alternatives that Mercado Libre should offer to its customers here in Latin America. Next slide, please. Okay, first of all, nowadays Mercado Libre offers to their customers different kinds of financing, such as payments by credit cards for the buyers or credit lines for sellers through Mercado Crédito. It's important just to remark that Mercado Libre has different methods of payment to their customers, like cash, credit cards, debit cards, or online payments through platforms like RappiPago or Pago Fácil. Next slide, please. Okay, now knowing this information, besides what Mercado Libre currently offers, the best alternative that it should be considered for financing is bill of exchange. In the case of the buyers, term of loans if it's for the sellers. Here we are considering both buyer and sellers as customers of Mercado Libre, because in both cases, either Mercado Libre receives income. For buyers, it is being considered the bill of exchange as a way to be financed by Mercado Libre, and this is because until these days, customers doesn't have the security of buying with credit or debit cards via online. So they have the tendency of buying with cash, but when the customer is lack of money, it would be good that Mercado Libre can offer them, besides a loan of cash, exchange. In that way, the seller can be paid, and the buyer will have a debt with Mercado Libre, not with the seller. On the other hand, talking about the sellers, as far as we know, Mercado Libre can operate without them. So a good way for financing them, besides the credit lines that they do to Mercado Crédito, is that they can offer them also credit lines through term loans with lower rates than banks. So in that way, they can expect to encourage more sellers to enter to the platform. Next slide.
Torrelli Confecciones SAC option to Actio Financial. Next, please. For the next question, we will assume that we are an SME. The company Torrelli Confecciones SAC withdrew 2060 32 25 77 6 dedicated to manufacture and sale of clothing, except later garments. Time to market 2 years. Torrelli Confecciones seeks the best financial to be able to continue selling in the open market. Your main options are in regional banks, departmental banks, saving and credit cooperative, and investment banks. The credit amount we need is 100,000, and term is for 24 months. Next, and that all the data provided are for SME loans. As we can see, the following table shows the different financial entities that offer working capital loans for small and medium-sized companies. We proceed to call each of these entities, and we were giving an annual reference rate and amount of 100,000 sold for 24 months. The different financial options were compared, considering that the one with the best rate is the BBU with an annual rate of 10.50%, quote of 1,644.00. And likewise, if financial banks have high financial rates, they are the ones that allow you to finance even if you are Infocorp. Next.
Okay, for the conclusions, we have the first one is Mercado Libre has a lot of potential to deal with Amazon in the firm if the firm goes ahead and implements an integrated logistics system.
For the second one, a Peruvian banking system offers good interest rates to finance the projects of greater scales, and if Mercado Libre wanted to deal with Amazon's penetration.
For the third conclusion is that Mercado Libre, even with the offers for financing to their customers, they still have options to add and differentiate with their competitors.
Last, the best credit for SMEs in regard to financial care is working capital, because it allows the best management of merchandise, raw materials, suppliers, and material of the companies. Next.
For the recommendations, for the first one is that Mercado Libre should anticipate the Amazon's penetration by building logistic operations with warehouses, delivery trucks, and more workers to emulate Amazon operations in the USA.
We recommend also that Mercado Libre relies on the quarterly periods of the income statements to ask for the loan, so that the bank will see that the net income is growing and we will get seen as credit reliable.
As a third recommendation is that Mercado Libre should add other ways of financing to attract more customers that are not secure about transactions online.
And finally, Mercado Libre should obtain agreements with different Peruvian financial institutions to provide special rates for users, and thus increase the satisfaction of your sellers, and they continue to sell more and more. Thank you.